And we got some breaking news, courtesy of the Israelite News Network, 24/7 news. So let's get into the details. And this is, this is pretty amazing. Let's click on this story right here. All right, and this is actually this story is courtesy of Israelite News Network and was first reported on War News 24/7. Russian army signal nuclear explosion imminent. Radioactivity will cover Poland with radiation. And so this is a breaking news story coming right up out of Europe. Russia, we are in the final stage. Russia said today that Ukraine has entered the final stage of building a dirty bomb. It is Moscow's second warning since yesterday, Sunday, but which Kyiv and its Western allies reject. According to the information we have, 2 Ukrainian organizations have specific instructions to build the so-called dirty bomb. Their work has entered the final stage. Major General Igor Kurylov, the Russian military's head of radioactive substances, biological and chemical products, said in a statement. As he said, the purpose of this provocation is to accuse Russia of using weapons of mass destruction in Ukraine and thus launch a strong anti-Russian campaign in the world, he said. Estimated that Kyiv mainly wants to intimidate the local population and increase the flow of refugees across Europe. Kurylov referred to Zelensky's speech in Munich last February when he said he expressed his intention to restore Ukraine's nuclear regime. It is also noteworthy that during the special military operation, Zelensky repeatedly called on NATO countries to carry out strikes on Russia. Kurylov said, recalling that on October 22nd, in an interview with Canadian television channels, Zelensky urged the world to hit the Kremlin if Russia hits the Ukrainian president's office. Red alert for radiation, chemical, and biological protection. The Russian military has reportedly put its forces on high alert to carry out operations in radioactively contaminated conditions due to the possibility of Ukraine using a dirty bomb. The Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation has information that Kyiv regime is planning a provocation related to the detonation of a so-called dirty bomb or a low-yield nuclear weapon, said Igor Kurylov, head of the Russian Army's RCBZ forces. The Ministry of Defense has put the forces on high alert to deal with possible challenges from Ukraine. The forces and means are ready to perform tasks in conditions of radioactive contamination, said Igor Kurylov, head of the Russian Radiological, Chemical, and Biological Protection Troops, RCBZ. The explosion of a radiological explosive device will inevitably lead to radioactive contamination of the area up to several thousand square meters, he said. According to the information we have, 2 Ukrainian organizations have specific instructions to create the so-called dirty bomb. In addition, we have information about the contacts of the Office of the President of Ukraine with representatives of Great Britain on the issue of the possible acquisition of technology for the creation of nuclear weapons. For this, Ukraine has an appropriate production base and scientific potential, said Kurylov. According to him, there are nuclear industries enterprises in Ukraine that have stocks of radioactive substances that can be used to create a dirty bomb. These are 3 nuclear plants that are still operating. South Ukrainian Kamalinsky and Ravine with 9 tanks of nuclear fuel. They contain up to 1,500 tons of uranium oxide enriched to 1.5%. At the decommissioned Chernobyl nuclear power plant with radioactive waste storage facilities, 22,000 spent fuel assemblies containing uranium, 238 are stored, as well as products related to the operation. Uranium-235 and plutonium-239, which are the main components of a nuclear charge, said Kurylov. At the radioactive waste processing enterprise vector, at the Prudnitrovsky chemical plant, at the Buryakovka Polinsy Rasaka radioactive waste disposal sites, More than 50,000 cubic meters of radioactive waste can be accommodated, which can also be used as components for a dirty bomb. The Vostochny mining and processing plants mines uranium ore in 2 of the 3 mines with the capacity of up to 1,000 tons per year, said the head of the RKHBZ troops. There is a scientific base in Ukraine. This is the Kharkiv Institution of Physics and Technology, whose scientists participated in the USSR's nuclear program, where various experimental facilities are currently operating, including the Uragan thermonuclear facilities, as well as the Institute for Nuclear Research at the National Academy of Sciences in Kyiv, where research is being conducted at the WWRM reactor using high levels radioactive materials, he concluded. And man, there you have it, man. It sounds like they're about to drop it sounds like either Ukraine is gonna drop a dirty bomb, or it sounds like Russia is gonna drop a nuclear weapon. Either way it go, man, it seems like they are setting up the stage to use some kind of nuclear weapon or some kind of radioactive weapon on the Ukrainians. So this is the breaking news coming up out of War News 24/7. Please like, subscribe, and share at Rebuke All Devils Radio 107.7, home of the truth. Subscribe to Rebuke All Devils Radio, and also, if you can, please subscribe to the #1 Israelite News Network YouTube channel, and come back right over here to the Israelite News Network and create an account right there. Create your free account so that you can post videos, comment, like, subscribe, and share. You can do all of that right here. Let your voices be heard. And with that, I say shalom.